Good evening. This is a public service announcement about the book A Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. The book takes place in a futuristic USA after Gilead had taken over. Gilead was formed due to a decrease in birth rates. The women women had all the rights taken away and were used to have children. Let me introduce you to some characters. The first one we have is Offred. She's the narrator, and she's a handmaid. A handmaid is a woman forced to have children for elite couples who can't have children of their own. Offred is not her real name, though. Handmaids take the name of the commander and put "of" in front of it. Throughout the book, she constantly has flashbacks of her husband and daughter from the past America. The commander is the head of the household where Offred works, and he owns her. He has an illegal relationship with Offred. He takes her into a room and plays Scrabble with her because women are not allowed to read or write. Serena Joy is the commander's wife. Before Gilead, she was a gospel singer and an anti-feminist. Although she has her way with how women are placed in society, she's very, very unhappy throughout the entire story. Next we have Nick. He's a guardian, and he's assigned to the commander's home as a gardener and chauffeur for them. He has chemistry with Offred right off the bat, and he has relations with her when Serena tells him to, because her husband is barren and Offred can't have children with him. Glen is another handmaid and Offred's shopping partner, but she is also part of the Mayday, and the Mayday is a resistance group against Gilead. The theme of this book, from what I've read and what I understood, was women have a certain place in society to bear children. They have no rights whatsoever. And I believe that this should be taken off the 101 books to read before college because it's boring and inappropriate. I had a very, very hard time staying focused on the book, and I couldn't understand it. I had to reread multiple parts to even get a little inkling of an understanding. I also had a hard time reading because Atwood doesn't put quotations around her dialogue, so you're not sure where it starts or it ends, and it takes a little rereading to understand where it ends and where it starts and who's talking, which conversations are going on. It's very confusing. And it's very, very inappropriate. It spoke much about sex and described Offred's sexual thoughts. Not something a high school student should be reading. And parents would agree too. I have a couple quotes that prove this point further. The first one isn't as bad as the second, so here it is. Wasn't very good, was it? The second one's worse. Brace yourself. It shouldn't be read by students in high school at our age. It shouldn't be accepted inside of a English room to be read. It shouldn't be on the book to read. It's very suggestive and not right. And I found another quote that Offred says while she's reading at night when she actually has a chance to read. And it says, "I read for pleasure, and that is the moment I learn the most." That book was not very pleasurable to read, and I would never suggest it. Thank you for listening.